and welcome to Justice. I'm Judge Jeanine Pirro. Thanks for being with us. Breaking news tonight, Missouri Governor Jay Nixon declares a state of emergency and a curfew in Ferguson. This amid more violence and looting last night over the shooting death of 18-year-old Michael Brown. Mike Tobin is in Ferguson with the latest. Good evening, Mike. What's the mood on the streets so far tonight?
Well, Judge, the people out here certainly are not discouraged. They're lining parts of Ferguson Avenue here. And as we look off, Bob, if I can get you to pull off in the other direction here, I want to show you another march that's coming up the street as we speak with hundreds of people in it. As we talk to the people, careful, there's a car coming by. As we talk to the people, I want to let you know that Captain Ron Johnson is down there in their ranks, working this crowd like a politician. But not everyone down there is so happy to see him. A lot of people are considering him a sellout, and they're telling him in very harsh language, Judge.
And what about the curfew? I mean, you say there are a lot of people out there. The curfew is in just a few hours. What happens if someone is out? Will they be arrested?
Well, you know, Captain Johnson told me after I pressed him, they want to get through this without any arrest. But if there are people who are going to defy it, ultimately they will be arrested. And some people are intent on defying it. I talked with some demonstrators who say they're going to stay out to 12:15 just to be that way. If you look off to the sides of Ferguson Avenue here, you can see some people hanging around their cars. Now, some of the people hanging around their cars there, I had conversations with them. And they gave me quotes like, "It's fixing to go off tonight." So you talk about the people who are looking to have a little trouble, they're in these ranks somewhere, Judge.
Well, you know, what's interesting is that it seems that Thursday night there was quiet. Last night there were problems. And is that because it's a weekend that now, Saturday night, they expect even more problems?
Well, it's tough to say. Last night got pretty boozy as it was a weekend. Here's this demonstration coming up the street. There was a lot of liquor that got thrown into the mix last night. And the police showed up, and there was friction with the police last night. It really seemed to spark when the police showed up. They said to get a couple of their guys freed, a handful of their guys who got trapped in a parking lot out of that parking lot. But then the looting happened, and the police decided they didn't want to conflict, so they stayed backed off, and that's why they're getting criticized now for not being present enough, not showing enough force during the course of this.
Right, and store owners, Mike, understandably concerned because they're losing a lot of their own inventory, and if the police aren't responding because they don't want to anger the crowd, it's a catch-22 for the police, is it not?
It really is. The police are getting it from both sides. And the store owners, in fact, up there is Sam's Meat Market. The staff of Sam's Meat Market and some of their friends showed up with their own weapons last night and stood around the store. Granted, there was a crowd of the demonstrators who tried for a little while to keep the looters out, but they showed up ultimately with their own weapons around the store, and they kept people from coming inside.
Mike, do you have any idea if some of those people who are looting the stores are even from Ferguson?
A lot of them are not from Ferguson, and that's what we hear from a lot of the people out here. Frustration with the idea that so many people are out here just to get their point heard, and other people are out here to capitalize on the situation and take advantage of it. Have a hoot on a night, or try to get a couple things while looting. It's a small section of the population.
All right. I have to tell you, Mike, it sounds pretty loud out there with a curfew coming up in just a few hours. Mike Tobin, thanks so much. We're going to check back with you a little later in the show.